I just wanted to mention to Ms. Kitchak that I can see from your testimony that you've never been to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I see that as a terrible failure of the federal government to recruit on very fertile ground. We have a very fast Hispanic, growing Hispanic population. I think we're only second to Indiana in terms of the fastest growing Hispanic population, and we have I think, the youngest African American population in the country. It'd be a fantastic, and welcoming activity to have someone from the Personnel Management Agency come out. I guess I wanted to ask Mr. Gill, and I think my colleague Mr. Westmoreland has asked a lot of questions about the internships. These internships are funded for all of the agencies, for any agency?
Each individual agency makes their own internal decision on how many students that they have. Usually it's a government, let's say a federal agency-wide procurement opportunity, then individual bureaus utilize that mechanism to hire the students.
Okay. And do you find that you always have enough students to fill these slots, or do you find yourself short of slots, or waiting lists, or are there adequate numbers? Do you wish there were more opportunities?
Absolutely. Okay.
Let me ask a question. In terms of the types of students that are recruited for these programs, are there, many of these students may come from, may be very capable, but may come from families who don't necessarily have money to totally and completely support this activity. I mean, they can't, I think every parent sort of hustles up enough money to get clean underwear for their kids so that they won't be embarrassed when they come to Washington, D.C. or go wherever. But are all of the expenses paid so that you don't find yourself only recruiting those middle-class students who can take advantage of this opportunity?
Thank you, Congresswoman, for allowing to expand on the nuances of the program. It's truly unique that all these internships are paid, 100% paid. In addition to, we help facilitate round-trip airfare for the student at no cost to the student. We also help facilitate housing. I always put it in the lowest common denominator. Somebody that may be, as you just mentioned, these individuals may not have the opportunity to, first time they may be flying a plane, much less come to Washington, D.C., much less arrive to Washington, D.C. Reagan National Airport and know exactly where to live for the summer. And so we actually meet with the student at the airport, transport them to their location, transport them for full two-day orientation so they feel much more fully prepared. We created a sense of a safety net, for lack of another word. We provide them access to alumni. So we're happy to report that once a student starts the program, we have a less than 1% attrition rate for the students that leave the program. But I do believe that the critical aspect is that they're all paid.
All right. Ms. Kitchen, I just want to ask you a question before my time expires. We have, and I think, Mr. Westmoreland may have touched on this a little bit, we sort of have sort of schizophrenia in this country as it relates to affirmative action, creating opportunities for minorities, hold immigration policy. Are these conflicts in the American political dialogue, do you think that they hamstring the agency in terms of actually implementing the executive orders and actually, because we heard a lot of frustration from Mr. Osageda, that in fact we're woefully behind, and Mr. Gill saying we could do more. Do these cultural sort of warfare issues, do you believe that they perhaps impede your ability to fulfill this mandate?
I don't think so. I think, number one, we do agree that there needs to be more progress. So we're not comfortable with where we are, but we think we have the opportunity to do that. I think we feel that if we do more job fairs in the right places if we participate in more activities with folks like Haku, and OPM does have a contract with Haku, that we can make progress. And again, it's some of the mandatory. Yes, we're schizophrenic. We don't like mandates, but we don't think that stands in our way. We think we can do better. We think we can make progress.